Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig and I have a great collection today from Concord and Ninth. This is Boho Butterfly and it's got stamps, stencils, and cutting dies. And when you use them all together, you get cards like this one. Look at the dimension and the color. Guys, this collection is so fun to play with. I can't wait to show you what else I came up with. So come back and play with us. All right, for this first card, this one is 5 by 6.5 inches, and for the background on the card, I'm using 6 by 6 Sweet Pea, which is so perfect for spring. It's one of my favorite collections. And what I did was I just cut the plaid paper and this beautiful little Sweet Pea paper down to fit the card, just a little bit smaller than the card. And if you can see here, when I cut that down, and then I cut down the plaid to match the same size, then I just took my paper cutter and I took just this one and cut it at an angle, and then glued that to the top over the pink plaid. And then to get this stripe right here at an angle, I cut it like this as well so that the stripes would be vertical, and went ahead and glued that across. And then for my little butterflies, I'm going to show you at the end of the video how to work the little stencil and everything and how those lay over each other and make that so easy. But then we've got these little butterflies right here, which I put right at the top, and I did a little double layer of them. So there's a little dimension there, see that? And then right here, there's a little white body, and that's what these ones are right here. So here are those smaller butterflies. They've got a little bit of detail for embossing when you die cut them. And then you have two sizes of bodies, this little one and then this larger one, okay? And that's what I used here. And then I topped each one of these little butterflies with these lemon color crystals. They're just so cute. And then this little greeting right here, Hello Sunshine, this is from the paper pack collection. I just cut that out and just used a little foam tape to pop that up. For the inks that I used on these, I used both Pink Petal and then Hot Pink. And then for the butterfly bodies, for the larger ones, I used Buttercup. All of these items are listed down below the video, so you shouldn't have any problem finding that. All right, so my next one, this one, I just used the dies and the stamps on this one. So on the stamps, I'm going to leave this in the package. Well, let's see. Why don't we do this? Take this out and leave it on the little white backing, since my background is black. There we go. So on this stamp set, we have these beautiful little sort of trails from the butterflies that say things like have a delightful day and hello there friend, and there's even some little antenna right there. Okay, so on this one I kept my card, I wanted to keep this area white so that I could really show off those little trailing sentiments. So from 6 by 6 wildflowers, I used this one right here that had a lot of just green background, and I just tore a little 2-inch strip of that right there. And then I used a little bit of violet purpley color around the top edge of the card, and then used a little bit of black down here at the bottom. And then I went ahead and placed my Dazzle stickers. And for those, here we go. These are Fancy Border Dazzles in pastel and pearl finish. And these are beautiful, and I used this green one right here and then topped those little scallops right there with some purple Jewel Dazzle stickers. So once I had this established and this established down here, I could also just add this little greeting, and that is from the coordinating Pearl and Pastel We're Together Dazzle stickers, and I used this really pretty kind of orchidy purple color. I'm in all different colors. We use this one a lot. So that's right there. So then I actually die cut using these larger butterfly dies from these papers where it just has like the corner embellishment with the flowers. I just die cut those butterflies from the corners, and then they have these really nice beautiful focals there with the flowers, and inked the edges of those what this one looks like, just like this. And these little daubers are really helpful with this. And I just took one of these daubers and some black ink. And I use these quite a bit with these particular projects and just went around the edges just like that. And it gave that a little bit of shading. And then glued them, before gluing them, I set them right here and then got an idea of where I was going to stamp those little trails and where I was going to stamp the antenna. Okay, so then once I had those stamped, then I went ahead and glued these little butterflies, just kind of bend them like this, and then put a little bit of glue right there where the body is going to be, and then just tack it down right like that. And then under each one, there's a little bit of foam tape. That's what's going to keep that little lift. So even if you mail this, when they receive it in the mail, they're still going to spring up a little bit because they've got a little bit of dimension under them. And as far as foam tape goes, we've got these little individually die cut squares that are great to use with this. Excuse me. But we've also got our sturdy, tried and true roll of foam tape. Remember, this is 50 yards or 150 feet for about 20 bucks. So this is also a great deal. All right, so that's that one. Now I have another one using these little butterflies right here. This one, my little rainbow, and all of these 3 cards I'm showing you are all 5 by 6.5 inches. For this one, I took a 2.5-inch strip of Dotted Duos number 2. This is the micro dot on one side, and then on the other side, it's got that really nice jolly dot. And I used the jolly side for the pink right here. And then I used a circle cutting die, and I forgot to grab that, but that one is 3¼ inches just from white cardstock. And then I took all of those little dies, and I used a couple of solid paper packs with solid cardstock in them, and I've listed those down below. And I think it's flowing ink, and I also used a nesting place. And I just die cut them from 2 shades of 2 shades of pink, light and dark, 2 shades of yellow, and these are all reversible. So this is one color, and then you turn it over to this color. So I just went ahead and did those all different colors, and then used those little bodies that are right here and put little white bodies on those. Before you glue anything on, go ahead and stamp right in the center of this. I used Prussian blue right here for the thanks so much, and that is from the stamp set. And then I'm going to take a little bit of glue and our little Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue works great for this. And what I ended up doing was just putting a little dot right there and then placing that right there. And I just continued all the way around the edge, right like that. And it was just a really, really easy card to do. And then I took the circle and I foam taped that, a couple layers of foam tape, a couple of strips of foam tape, single layer, and I just foam taped that there. And then I took our little fancy Border Dazzle stickers right here in that really pretty pink vinyl, and just split one of those borders and put it here and here. And then these cute little butterflies are these ones right here. So that is just a really simple card to do and an easy one. So this last one I've got for you is a slimline card. This is the one I showed in the opening. And this is 3.5 by 8.5 inches. And my background paper is flowing ink. And I wanted something that would just really pick up the blues and the greens and the aquas. And that's just all of these right here. So I cut that a little smaller than the card. Once again, use my fancy Border Dazzle stickers here and here. And then just cut a strip of white cardstock here. And the first thing I did was evenly space and do 3 one of each of the 3 different kinds of butterflies, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I did them again on a separate piece of paper, and then I die cut those. And then just did that same technique where you're gluing the body and foam taping under the wings. So let's show you how the stencil works. It's really easy, and I love it. All right. So the first thing I did here was I established the center of my work area, and then I did the 3 butterflies evenly spaced, and then once I got those down, I then put the little antenna, and then I did these little darling little greetings. I just stamped them above and below each one, kind of alternating. So we have a delightful day, hello there friend, have a delightful day, and hello there friend. Just repeated that. So then when I came time to stencil and cut these images out, I find it's really nice just to have a little bit of low-tack tape to keep your paper secure when you're stenciling. And the stenciling, I didn't secure that because it's such a small area that you're stenciling. I just didn't have that problem with it moving around. So I started off here with, going in the right direction, here we go. There. Started off with this little one right here, and that is this one right here. And I took a little violet and then my daubers. You guys, these were really, really nice to use. And we did this lightly, just like that. And then a little bit darker towards that the top, just like that. And then these are the details. We're going to put those right over that. You can see, really easy to align those. And then we want to apply a lot more ink there. We want this to be really dark. And then I just kind of put a little muscle into that to lay down that darker ink. Right, there's those details. So those are the bottom part of the butterfly. And then if you look at this stencil, this one lines up, and you can mix and match these, but I just sort of went with the ones that were right across from each other. And so for the next one, I used teal ink. And I'm going to grab a new dauber. Okay, the teal ink. Now we want to place these so that they're just a tiny line between the top part of the wings and the bottom part of the wings. And that little line is going to go right there. If that line is too big, it won't fit within the cutting die. So you want to really squish it in there. Okay, and then we're just going to do this. Oh, it's not working so good. Try this one. I'm going to go ahead and apply this ink. As I said before, we're going to do it more light. Okay, see there's that little line, not too much space between them. Now we're moving this one over. Now I'm going to put quite a bit more ink because I want it darker, and I'm just pressing harder. Just like that. And that's all there is to that. And now we're going to take a little cutting die that coordinates with that. And you just want to make sure that your little areas, your little scalloped areas down below fit in there. And then I would just take a little bit of low-tack tape if you don't have a magnetic plate on your die cutting machine, and just tack that down. And that's going to go through your machine, and when you're done, it's going to look like that. And then remember, we have these little body pieces right here that are larger. I cut those out of sort of a navy blue. Just going to put a little bit of glue right there. We don't need a lot. And that's going to go right there. And then you can sort of bend your wings. And then this is going to get glued right over this one. I sort of just laid it flat to align those images. And that's where the glue is. That can lift up just like that. And then I can just take a little bit of foam tape, grab my foam tape, and I'm just going to take a little bit off of my giant wheel. And then that's going to go right under there, and right under there. And that's how you're getting that lift to stay. It's hidden under there. All right, that's as easy as that. These are just so fun to work with, you guys. I would really encourage you to check these out. So we have a fantastic money saver on these. And if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page, that money saver is right there on the right-hand side of your screen. And you'll see this whole collection of the Boho stamp, die, and stencils. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then just look below the video in the description box, and there's a link that will take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. And then down below on our webisode page, we have all the items. You can find the daubers, all the ink colors that I used, everything that's going on there. You guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun with these projects, and I'll see you next time.